Let's everybody turn to Judges 16. I'm going to skip around a little bit, and I'm going to give you a different aspect of the story, because everyone knows about this story. Our brother Samson and the situation he got into. And I did a little studying and digging, and I read over his history. Chapter 16, starting at verse 20. So we'll skip around 20 and 21. And then I'll tell you when I'm going to skip around again to 23, and then skip around to 25 to 28, and then I'm going to do 30. You know, when you're there, say amen. Amen. All right. Let's pray for the Father. In the name of Jesus, God, I ask, Lord, that you would preach. Lord, that this ain't about me, this ain't about Corey, this ain't about his 3-piece suit, Lord. This is about you, Lord. God, I ask, Lord, that you speak to your people, God. Speak to me as you speak to your people, God. Lord, step out of myself, God, Lord, that you will increase as I decrease. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Verse 20, verse 16:20 says, and she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as other times before and shake myself. And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. But the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass. And he did grind in the prison house. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon, their God, and to rejoice. For they said, our God hath delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands. How many people, your adversaries sit up there, they think they got you. They think they got what they got you. And we finally delivered him. We finally conquered him. We finally got him to act a fool. We finally got her to act a fool, act out of their character. They talking about God this and God that. Look at him now. He's just like one of us. They think they got you where they got you. I said they think. 25 says, and it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, that they said, call for Samson, that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport, and they set him between the pillars. Sport, which means they made in front of him. They was joking on him because he couldn't see. Look at him now. He's supposed to be the strongest man. He weak. We bound and gagged him. He's weak now. Look at him. And how people do you sometimes. At your weakest moments, they will sit up there and make fun of you and say, look at it now. She had the car. She had the house. Now look at her now. She ain't got nothing. She walking now. And she don't have nothing. And she talking about Jesus. Verse 26, and Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house standeth, that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines was there. And there were upon the roof about 3,000 men that beheld while Samson made sport. They kept on making fun of him. Then Samson came, called unto the Lord, and said, O Lord God, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee, only this once, O God, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And 30 says, and Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew in his house were more than they which he slew in his life. So he killed more Philistines before he died than he did in his whole life. I want to name this, and I've been stuck on this for so long. It's called Stop Being Weak. Stop being weak. It's too many. I'm looking in the body of Christ now, and it's not like what it was when my grandma was in church. Not like it was then. Not like my mom's first started going to church. You got so many weak Christians now. The smallest thing happened, and they don't know what to do. They don't even know what to do. They let most everything conquer them. I don't know what to do now. I ain't got no job. They said, and I prayed, and I don't know what to do. I ain't got this now. Their perspective of how to live for God is out of order. Now I want you to listen to this. Being weak, it don't consist of you not having a destiny. Being weak does not consist of you not having a destiny. You still have a destiny and a purpose. Sometimes we do fall weak. But we have to try to get that strength from somewhere. and that's God. Like some singers you had, Whitney Houston, beautiful voice, beautiful talented sister, had a beautiful voice, powerful voice that can reach anybody, whether she was singing gospel or whether she was singing R&B. And she allowed the world to crumble around her, and they found her dead body in a tub. Brother Sam Cooke, one of the most powerful gospel brothers out there, had plenty of albums and things. I could listen to Sam Cooke all day. His voice was like an angel coming from him. And he was shot dead in a hotel, calling his weakness. Dorothy Dandridge, one of the most talented actresses out there. So many people are still, even to this day, are still copying her, want to be like her, copy her moves, copy her style of how she does things. And she was found dead in a tub. For Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, say the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." People, we want an expected end. We don't want to end like Whitney Houston. We don't want to end like Sam Cooke, Dorothy Dandridge, and so many other people that you hear stories about, all these talented people, these people who changed the world, who changed the world with their voices and were just landmarkers out there. But they were caught in their weakness and they died. They got an unexpected end. We want an expected end. And God says He knows the thoughts He thinks towards you. I had a friend that I was talking to, and he would say, "Man, I don't know what's going on in my life, and all these things is going on." I told him, "Man, maybe what you're going through is not for your good, but it might not feel good, but it's for your good." And God just gave me that word to tell him. God was playing. He was speaking to me at the same time, and I'm like, "Man, maybe it's not. It's for your good. It don't feel good. I know it don't feel good, but this is for your good. It's for you to walk through it. You got to walk through it. You got to know that this is still for your good, regardless of how it feels." Maybe God is trying to lead you next to Him. Maybe before you wasn't hearing Him. Maybe before you wasn't praying as much. Maybe before you weren't reading His Word as much. This is for you to get closer to Him. Sometimes when everything is going well, we don't read. We don't pray. We're not showing up at church. We're not trying to let God. We're not even trying to pray. And we're not thinking about those things. We're not thinking about cleaning our house. We're too busy into our own things, our own life. We're busy. I'm doing good. I don't need to pray to God. Now that's the time when you need to be praying to God, when everything is going good. Everybody wait till everything crumbles. Now Samson, and this is what God gave me again. I was like, wow, I had to write this down. I had to type it. So Samson had God-given strength, but ended up in a situation of weakness. Now, how many people in the house we have God-given strength, but we always end up in a situation of weakness? It was destined for his God-given strength to be taken away. He ended up in a situation of weakness. Now, things just don't happen overnight. So I did a history of Samson. And what I found, my God, that's all I can say. My God. Now, Samson's mother was originally barren. She couldn't have children. The angel of the Lord came to his mother first. And she didn't know who the angel was. She thought it was just a regular man talking crazy, because she couldn't have no children. He said, "You will have a son, and you will have to eat clean. You have to eat clean foods, and you cannot drink. You cannot drink any alcohol." That's what she said to him. She didn't believe him. So she went to her husband, told him. He said, "Okay, like all men, your wife barren, she couldn't have any children." Like, "Oh, you're right." So the man of God, so the angel came to him, told him the same thing. So he went and found his wife, and the angel came to them a third time and told him the same thing. Sound like somebody familiar? Sound like somebody familiar that we know in the Bible later on, that the angel God came to them and said, "You're going to bear a son that's going to save the world." So God placed Samson in his mother's womb. The person that he sounded like, Jesus. He had a destiny just like Jesus. But the difference between him and Jesus, he wasn't prepared like Jesus. John 9:4 said, "I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day." The night cometh when no man can work. See, Jesus came in this world. He was prepared, even at that young age. He was about 12 when he spoke these words. He was already prepared even then. I'm saying, okay, I'm here for a reason. I'm here to save the world, to give my body as a living sacrifice. So I'm going to start learning now. So Jesus had started learning. He didn't start his pastor till he was 33. Samson was not prepared. Samson did not do his study things. He did not sit up there. He did not sit and pray to God. He did not try to give his all to God and things of that nature. No, they didn't cut his hair. No, they gave him clean foods and stuff. But the thing he had needed to do was to keep on studying about God, praying to God, giving words from God, staying watchful. And the next point I've learned that Samson, like all of us, was hard-headed. He was very, very hard-headed. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. And I read on, he went down to a certain country. He saw a fine sister, but she was a Philistine. She was not a Jew. See, Samson, another thing I got up, Samson was a Nazarene. He was a Nazarene too, just like Jesus. That was another thing that he had shared with Jesus. But Samson was hard-headed. Saw this sister, he thought she was fine, and I guess he was in maybe his late teens, maybe 18, 19. He ran to his mother and father and said, Mom, Dad, I saw this beautiful woman, and I really want to talk to her. And they said, okay, what? He said, okay, what about her? He said, she's a Philistine. And they said, boy, you better not go down there. Leave that woman alone. So his parents warned him not to go to visit a Philistine woman that he had admired. So he was hard-headed anyway. He went down. A lion, on his way down, he saw a lion. A lion had roared at him before he even went to see the girl. That was his warning from God. This lion, this passage, was represented as a warning before destruction that Samson just clearly ignored. He saw the lion and said, oh, okay. What this supposed to be? Oh, well. Just like we do. We get warnings in our life. Got to be careful, sisters, brothers. Women, y'all see brothers, broad shoulders, nice looking, keep his hair cut. He's talking one night, could be slick, could be the devil. And you get a warning. You get that warning. Somebody said, look, leave him alone. I seen him talk to other women and stuff like that. And girl, I think he got a woman at home. Like, I don't care about all that. I kind of like dude, you know what I'm saying? And you talk to the brother anyway. Get his number. You don't know. And he tell you, no, it's all lies. Brother, see a woman, nice looking, shapely, all this other things. She talking good. But she don't tell you she got a viral disease. Everybody else still warning you. She got a viral disease. Leave that sister alone. You don't want to get involved with that. She got other things going on. I see men in and out of her house. But you ignore it anyway. We ignore warnings in our life. Simple warnings that we could have just followed, and we still could have been on the right path. Samson was moved by lust and not the spirit. Matthew 26:41 says, watch and pray that ye enter not in temptation. And the really verse said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's why we can't trust this flesh. Can't trust this flesh at all. See something that look good, might not be good. May not be good. It could be food, you on your diet. Too high cholesterol food can kill you. And you gotta live forever. You're like, oh, I really want that though, but you gotta stay on your diet. Anybody can be a person that you have to stay away from. But you would still want to be around that person because that person is leading you into the world. It remind me of a movie I saw about a singer named Mika Howard. Talented sisters could have went over and beyond depths that Whitney Houston went. They told her not to hang out with Shaka Khan because Shaka Khan was into drugs. They told her, they warned her not to hang out with her. but she still didn't follow that warning. She wanted to do what she wanted. You can't tell me who to hang out with. I'm going to hang out with him because I know she's talented. I know she got this going. And she didn't want to listen, which had led her life into a spiral of bad decisions, bad things, that she could not be successful. Moving right along. After sleeping with the woman, which he did, the carcass of the lion, he found the carcass of the lion when he went back. It was filled with honeys and bees. So he looked, and all he did, he started to eat the honey. Then he took some of the honey to his parents to eat. Wake up! The enemy will camouflage people as sweet and sent from God, and will present to others you love as sweet as well. Mom, I love him. Dad, I love her. And thinking that's the person for you. Thinking that's the person that you need in your life. Thinking that's the main thing that I need to do. That might not be the main thing that you need to do. That might not be the main person that's for you. That's why everybody said take your time. Take your time. Get to know. Pray about it. Well, it goes back to that watch and pray. Pray and watch. Watch and pray. That's why prayer is so important. Go pray about it. I met my wife. When we were dating, I thought she was a great person. So I prayed God, okay, Lord, is she a good woman for me, Lord? You know I made bad decisions in choosing women that I've dated in the past, God. Is she really the woman for me, Lord? Is she going to be this guy, Lord? And just keep showing me. And I kept praying about it. And he kept showing me. I said, okay, God, okay. See, if I would have went out on a whim like I did with other situations, it would have ended in failure. So, as he had presented the woman as sweet as well to his parents, they said, okay, maybe she is sweet. He took his father down to the woman and showed her. He said, okay, where is this woman at? Okay, you need to go ahead and marry her. So he married the woman, and she was so desirable to him. He found her very desirable. But she only married him because of her fellow Philistines. They told her, okay, find out everything that you can find out about him. And try to throw him off. Try to get him to not be, to try to throw him off, throw off his power, throw whatever you can in there. Ain't it like the enemy trying to throw people in there to get you to start being weak, to throw you off your course, that you're not focused anymore? Isn't there something that just get thrown in the middle of the road? You just get distracted. You get distracted and don't even see it coming. And he just want to throw off your focus because he don't want you to be that same way. And the woman just told him how much she had loved him. Everybody that say they love you don't love you. They throwing around that word now, girl, you know I love you now. You know I love you now. Come on now, do this for me. You know I love you, right? Come on. Smooth talking, brother. Brothers talking all this stuff and talking about they love you. And they don't. Women sitting there throwing around their wives and telling, well, you know, if you love me, you would do that for me. She called herself loving him, but I read on that his own friend had his wife. How bad of a feeling that would be, that you will find out that your own friend had your mate. Proverbs 5, they say, well, it says, remove thy way far from her, and come thou nigh the door of her house. It's talking about temptation. It's talking about sin. Don't even try to come there. Don't even knock on the door of sin. The only thing that you need to be knocking on the door of is his presence and his power and God. Next thing I find out about Samson is Samson liked to get revenge. He loved to get revenge, and that's not of God. Matthew 5, 38, 39, Jesus says, plain and simple, ye have thought that it had been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil. For whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. Jesus said, operate in spirit. Operating in peace. Being a spirit of peace. which Samson did not. He operated naturally in the wrong spirit. We sometimes like to do what comes naturally sometimes. Somebody say something that's wrong, you're going to say something bad, and it ain't going to be godly. Somebody want to fight you, somebody they push on you, oh, no, it's on now. And then everybody, are you going? No, I ain't going for that. It's all about I'm not going. All of my peers, man, I know you ain't going to let them say what he said, And I started to get to a point, I started getting numb to it, like, so? Let them say what you're going to say. Let them say what you're going to say. Does it make it so? It doesn't. Is that person God? In the end, I am who I am. And I'm going to stay that way. If we operate in that spirit, we have nothing to worry about. But sometimes you may just not be quick to think like that. You may want to do what comes naturally. And it's just not the right spirit. Other thing I found out, Samson's lust was his demons. His lust of the eyes. Saw a beautiful woman, he had to have her. And it's not the first time that Samson made that bad decision. Right. Matthew 6:22 and 23 it says, the light of the body is the eye. And therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. 23 says, but if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. And therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? So, which means we have to watch what we watch. You got to watch what you watch. You got to watch what you see. You got to watch what you lay your eyes on. Because it can be full of darkness. The enemy knows what he's doing by placing things on television. Saying, okay, this is okay, that's okay, and we think that is okay, and that's not of God. That thing can be full of darkness, in which is creeping in inch by inch, was placing our whole life that we are carrying with us in that darkness. And then in other words, you can walk away with something after that you do not want. I was watching a movie a long time ago called Kids. It was about these young teenage boys, and the only thing they want to do is conquer young ladies. And they was talking about conquering young ladies, just as young men do at times. And one did conquer a young lady. And at the end of the movie, the young lady was sitting in the doctor's office, and the doctor told her that she was HIV positive. She walked away with something that she did not want, just because of the spirit that she was operating in at the time. She trusted that young man. You will walk away with something that you do not want. My next point was, Samson met Delilah in the valley of Sorek after his hookup in Gaza. After his hookup in Gaza, so yes, he did leave out of a prostitute's house where they had prostitutes. So he already had him a prostitute right before he had met her. So isn't it funny, we sometimes meet the wrong people in the valleys of our lives. We think that person is sent from God. We think that person is okay. The enemy knows what he's doing. He will send somebody to you when you're in the wrong place in your life, when you were down and out, when you don't have none. I think God sent this person. Your whole judgment will be clouded. They're around to lend a hand in our destruction, and we don't even know it. Just like Delilah's assignment was to destroy Samson.
Right.
You don't even know that the enemy sent that person on assignment to try to deter and destroy you on the inside. Destroy you on the inside, where you stop believing in God, where you stop coming to church, where you stop praying, and you stop walking in your walk. Mark 13:37 says it plainly, and what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. Colossians 4:2 says, continue in prayer and watching the same with thanksgiving. Pay attention to everything that's going on around you in the world. Pay attention. Pay attention. Keep watching. You have to watch and pray. You know, Jesus had to wake up the disciples because when they were asleep, they wasn't trying to watch. And Jesus already knew that soldiers were coming from him and coming for him. He already knew the Roman soldiers coming for him. He was already praying, but he was watching at the same time. Okay, they coming, but I'm going to go ahead and pray this prayer anyway. You have to watch and pray. You have to watch and pray and see what the enemy is throwing at you, or you will be sideswiped. You won't see it coming. We have to pay attention to what's going on television. This other thing that's trying to distract us is Black Lives Matter and the presidential election candidates and Donald Trump. Don't Trump in the candidate, but what's on the back of the thing? Don't Trump. You know, and the Black Lives Matter, and brothers and sisters are angry about and saying that we're not getting equal rights, and people are talking about going back to this and going back to that and making the situation worse than what it was because you're adding to the sin. How can you add to the sin? You can't put sin with sin. You have to put you have to put God in it. If God is not in it, then it's not going to be successful. Every time she asked about his great strength, he lied so his strength won't be cut off. The first few times when we see it coming, we strong. We see it coming like, oh no, I'm good. I already see you. The enemy's like, well, I don't even know what to throw at this person. I'm going to go ahead and throw this at the person. And the enemy is so ignorant to the first few times of what you can withstand. Then he finally learns about your true weakness. Mark 13:33 says, take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye not know when the time is. Again, keep coming up. Watch and pray. You don't know when the time is. We don't even know when the time is. It can be tomorrow. Jesus can go say, I want to come back tomorrow. He can come back tomorrow, and we're not ready. Sometimes we become too comfortable. And that's what happened with Samson. He became too comfortable. Samson was seduced by Delilah to finally tell the secret to cut off his strength. When we become too comfortable and stop watching and praying, the enemy attacks us from all sides. The pain becomes unbearable, and we get all weak. Isn't that what happened to Samson? He became too comfortable. Maybe he was watching and praying, but he was watching and praying this very day. And the enemy attacked him from every side. And it was just too much. It was just too much. The pain becomes too much. We just get weak. We don't know what to do. We just cry. And we say, God, we pray that God don't know what to do. But the Word of God says that He is not the God. He's not the author of confusion. Right. He's the author of the finisher. He's the author and finisher of His faith, but He is not the author of confusion. Yeah. We get confused, and I don't know what to do anymore. Ezekiel 7:25 says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Even when there's destruction come, and they try to seek peace at that time, so much destruction around them, and they try to seek peace. They try to get to Jehovah Shalom, but they can't, because Jehovah Shalom is not hearing them. Stay ready. Got to stay ready at all times. Got to stay ready. Don't know when the time is. Don't know when it's coming. Stay ready. Proper ready. I had to do. I work out a lot, so I have to prepare properly when I go into the gym. I have to prepare properly. I have to make sure that I stretch. Sometimes I may drink pre-workout drink, or I make sure that I gotta make sure my body is prepared. I cannot eat a full meal before I work out, or I'm not ready to lift anything. So I have to make sure that I'm prepared before I lift maybe a 75 pounds, maybe 7 pounds. I make sure that I'm ready to lift anything of that nature, anything that heavy. Yes. Or it be 100 pounds that I'm picking up, but I have to make sure that I'm ready and properly prepared to lift that. Anybody will tell you that doing spring training, you got to be prepared. You got to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, don't lift it. Because if you're not ready to lift that weight, you can possibly hurt yourself. It's like the weights in life. That weight of life can be sometimes too heavy, and you're not prepared to lift that weight. We'll say, lay aside every weight that so easily beset you. So we have to lay aside every weight that so easily beset us. Because that will make us weak. Another thing I looked at is Samson's eyes were taken out. We learned later on when the guys that came in, they cut his hair, they cut him from his strength, they gouged out his eyes where he couldn't see anymore. So you not only get weak, but the enemy takes away your spiritual vision. He does not want you to see anything spiritually anymore. Luke 6:39, and he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The enemy don't want you to be able to see. He don't want you to see with the light of God leading you. Because if you're not seeing with the light that God is leading you, you can easily fall into a ditch that can destroy your life. And then we get to the part, finally they got Samson, they got him bound and gagged. They got his eyes out. They're laughing at him. They're making fun of him, pointing at him. And this is supposed to be the strong. That's supposed to be the man that's supposed to deliver the Jews out of the hands of the Philistines. But now look at him. And this is one thing that I love about this. Samson had remembered to pray to God for strength. We have to remember to pray to God for strength. 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18, it says, pray without ceasing. In everything give thanks. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. You have to pray to God for survival. My oldest child, she just now had got to learn how to pray. And sometimes I have children, before we do our prayer, do like a little small prayer because I'm trying to get them in the habit of having a prayer life. And she asked me, Dad, why I gotta pray every night? And I told her, you gotta pray to save your life. You don't pray, something can possibly happen. I ain't learned this till I was 13. And then once I started praying to God every night, I became 15 and I wouldn't even leave the house to go to school without praying. I would still pray like, oh God, I don't want nothing to happen to us. Because I was hearing about all these other things that happen in drive-by shootings and things of that nature. And I didn't know if I was a threat to a potential gang member at my school. I will always pray. I will always pray to God. Prayer is the key. The man of God spoke it plain and simple last Sunday. Prayer is the key to saving your life. Prayer is the key to this Black Lives Matter. You're supposed to pray before you leave the house. You don't have to worry about the policeman pulling you over and shooting and killing you. You've also, and there's other things that go on. Let's pray. Not only go out and vote, but pray that a person vote for the right person to run our country, so we don't have to worry about things happening to us, or this thing going down, or that's going on. Let's pray and utilize our faith to God. Prayer is the answer. Only if Samson had remembered that before that situation even happened. Maybe he should have went up and prayed after he seen the first Philistine woman. And God said no. And he should have listened. We're always being hard-headed. Only if Samson wasn't hard-headed. Who knows what could have happened? Maybe he could have been the one to deliver us out of the hands of the Philistines. Maybe he wouldn't have to send Jesus years later. And that's the main thing, to stop being weak. We have to stop being weak. We have to know that prayer is the key to us being successful in life. No, we're not going to be perfect Christians. We're going to fall along the way. You're going to have doubts. And sometimes you don't want to pray. But that's the perfect time to pray. When you're angry, when you're frustrated about your life, when you don't know where it is headed, to pray. We got to stop being weak. We have to go back to the old times where the old saints were, they were strong. We didn't allow the world to tell us what to do. We didn't allow the world to tell us this is how men and God are supposed to look. The devil is a liar. They didn't allow things to go on like that. The church was the main lead of the world. Things on TV now that I didn't see on TV 10 years ago. The world is saying that it's okay. And the church need to come back and say, no, it's not. It is not okay for a young man or a grown man to be walking around in a dress and high heels. We need to go back to that. So we need to stop being weak and be strong. And say that it's not okay for a young lady to have her hair cut low and try to walk around like me. That is not okay. And it's not okay for teenagers to run the streets rapid. And teachers and principals and a faculty to be afraid of students. That's not okay. We have to stop being weak. We have to be strong. We have to walk around strong. And we try to zap our God-given strength. Let us pray to God for the God-given strength to be even stronger. Marvin Sapp said, he said, I'm stronger, I'm wiser. And we got to say the same thing. We're stronger, I'm wiser. With everything that we face, everything that we go through, we're not going through, we're not facing for no reason at all. It's not to make us weaker. It's to make us stronger. By stand, let us pray.